Hey, welcome back to our study of Philippians 1:6. So last time we talked about um, this sanctification, past, present, future sanctification, and that we need all three. They have to have all three in order to be saved. Obviously, if Christ started a good work in you, God started that in you, he will bring it to completion. So the middle part has to be there. What the middle part is being conformed to the likeness of Jesus. And so that conformity, that change, that biblical change there, that's what we're talking about in this. That has to happen. There has to be that biblical change. Because if he started the good work, then the change will have to happen because he started the good work. The good work's been started. And that biblical, the conformity to Christ is part of that beginning part. So we can't just say I was saved back in 1985 and then nothing happens until I get to heaven. That changed happened in 1985, and there's continual ongoing conformity happening, continual change happening until I get to heaven. So that's the idea, that there's this constant, continual working of the Holy Spirit, and then should be this constant, continual working of us. Now, sure, we do fits and stops, and sometimes we're doing better than others, and sometimes we are doing horribly, but doesn't mean we're not being conformed. And sometimes we grieve the Holy Spirit. We fight against him. We kick against the goads, but it is what it is. But the change is happening because it has to, because God started the good work in us. So we have to be doing good works in our life because we will. That's just how it is. We have to because we will, because God started the good work, and those good works will be done by us. Now, it's up to us whether we do a lot or a little, whether conformity to Christ is great in this life or if it's small. That's really up to our choices. But the Holy Spirit will continue to keep working on us, convicting us of sin, giving us the power to overcome sin and temptations, and that'll keep happening until we're with Christ. So let's look at this last part here. God will complete it. So if God began a good work in us, and it continues today, then we can be confident with Paul that he will bring it to completion on the day of Jesus Christ. This is the future tense of sanctification. As it says in Ephesians 5:27, this is when we will be before God in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, and we will be holy and without blemish. Or in Revelation 20, where it says there will be none who will be unclean, detestable, or false. This is the day when our change will be complete. When we walk, or when we throw off the body of death, then this work is done. So some of us, this is, I think for some of us, this will be the day we die or when Christ returns. Either one. That'll be when our sanctification is complete. Because you're not still being sanctified when you die, right? Because that's when the good work, you are now set free from the body of sin and death. Temptation's gone. Evil's gone from you. So when you die, those are things that you're released from. And so in that sense, that's the day of the Lord for you. And then in a greater sense, it's when Christ gives us our new bodies and we enter into the eternal state forever with our new bodies, without sin. We're now completely human and completed human, because we're soul and body. That's what humans are. And we'll be in that state without sin. No need for sanctification anymore because we've been completely sanctified. That will always be past tense then, forever and ever. So that's what he talks about. There's a day when the change will be complete. The completion of God's good work God began is, again, something that's a work of God alone. Glorification is not something that we do. That's the end. Jesus said that there is a glory that comes from God, and Jesus said that he's given us his glory. Paul said that this glory will be revealed in us and is not worth comparing to anything, even our sufferings. That's Romans 8:18. He compares us to vessels which are prepared beforehand for glory, which is Romans 9:23. In which we will receive an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison. That's 2 Corinthians 4:17. We are not there yet, but we will be, as John says in 1 John 3:2. Beloved, we are God's children now, and what we will be has not yet appeared, but we know that when he appears, we shall be like him, because we shall see him as he is. So that's the end of the good work, right? He who began will bring you to completion. That work will be completed. You will be glorified. You will receive the glory of God into you, and he'll be like that forever. So we will be like him, because we shall see him as he is. And so that day is coming for all of us. One day we will be like that. But it is not today. Today is the job of being conformed, being changed. And that's where we're at. That's biblical change. So in our conclusion, we'll kind of talk about what we should think about this then. How do we apply this to our lives? And honestly, it's very applicable, especially for believers. Unbelievers need to know about this too. But yeah, so come back for the conclusion and we'll wrap this up.